Hey everyone, as you can see, I'm in the midst of moving my house. So everything's kind of packed in boxes. And I don't have my fancy equipment, so everything's just off my laptop camera. But I figured it's time for an update. Obviously, this week has been a terrible week, and everyone's very concerned. So as a result, I decided, it's time to do an update video. Having said that, this week let's recap like what happened and where we're at. So we are down 7.7% for the week. So let's just show you that. So we're down 7.7% for the week, and the year 7.17% for the year. So what happened is that a large proportion of this, or 3 to 4%, is attributed to Save, which is one of the bigger trades that put in the portfolio. I was expecting this to go through, but obviously it didn't, and I wrote about it. It's something I think I did still made the right decision, even though it didn't go through. We played the probability of it as far as we could. It's just it didn't turn out in our favor. So this is about 3 to 4% of the portfolio. So that's part of it. And secondly, what happened is that one of the other trades in our portfolio, iRobot, was affected as a result. As you can see, iRobot started the year at about 37, currently trading at 17. So you're talking about more than half. And this was like 5% of our portfolio. So losing half is another 2.5%. So it brings us to about 6% thereabouts. And when the other thing that happened is China, right? So China has like dropped like 11% since 2024. Yeah, so and China's a big part of our portfolio as well, like 10% or so. So dropping 11% would have another 1% effect. So what happened this week is just these things kind of happen at the same time. And all these things just kind of happen at the same time, and it's not a great feeling. But I'm not terribly worried because I think I posted a video like a year ago that said, we're down 10% in 3 weeks or something like that. These kind of volatilities are to be expected, unfortunately, but they are what they are. And just like last year when I lost 10% in those 3 weeks, I think I lost like maybe 15 to 20% of my copiers at the same time. Um, uh, so right now I think I was down 7, so I lost about 12% of my copiers or something like that. So I lost a lot of copiers, and I understand why people are worried, and understand why they would leave or stop the copy or whatever have you. I do recommend a copy stop loss of 30% because of these market volatilities. So if it's a bit tougher to manage, I would suggest sizing it smaller if you could. But anyway, so even when I look at the case of the iRobot and the China falling, I'm not terribly concerned about those pieces of news. Like for China especially, like if you were to tell me like in 5 years' time, would I be comfortable holding these stocks if I couldn't do anything? The answer is definitely yes. So do I think that it could get cheaper? Maybe in the short term. Could it go up in the long term? Absolutely. So I do still like it. And in terms of iRobot, there is something I did want to show, which is iRobot lost its value, and they said that yeah, after JetBlue and Safe got affected, right? Because FTC was scheduled to hold a meeting. This was actually blocked. Save and JetBlue was actually blocked by the DOJ, the Department of Justice, and not the FTC. So it's not even the same like body. And what happened is that even in as early as November 20, so like 2 months ago, right? iRobot stock surged 40% following approval, on-track approval for UO approval. And this week is obviously the opposite. Plummets because of concerns over the EU Commission. So, like, what has changed so much? Like, it's hard to say. Like, looking at the facts of the case, I'm not entirely sure like why that has changed so drastically. And I do remember Activision and Blizzard was something that I thought would not go through because of Europe, but it ended up going through. So there are some factors there that give me pause and say that, okay, I think that the iRobot case is still okay. I may add to it given that how much it's fallen, but I do want to make sure I read into it correctly before I make any decisions. So that's kind of why I'm holding pat for now. But either way, 97.17% does not a great feeling, but at the same time, again, I'm not worried at all. Yeah, I understand if you guys need to stop your copy or whatever. It is part of the game, unfortunately. So do bear with me. I'm gonna do whatever I can, and like I always have, I'm gonna do whatever I can to try and bring the portfolio back. In fact, I am so confident of my strategies. I'm actually so happy that eToro has managed to fix this add copy amount, right? So I'm going to be adding to my portfolio in the next couple of months, and yeah, we'll bring the portfolio value up so I have more skin in the game and trading alongside you guys. Okay, that's all for this week. Sorry I can't make it longer and more professional, obviously packing and stuff. So it's a bit messy. So we'll talk soon.